Hey everyone, Amala here, clinical psychologist and private practice success, business coach and mentor to allied helping professionals. I am super excited to be talking to you today about my brand new upcoming time mastery for private practice course. Now, this has been a long time coming, and this is one of those training programs really close to my heart, which is why I wanted to take the time to do this short video for you guys, just to give you a bit of context and background as to why I am so passionate about this. Now, you may or may not know that as part of my private practice Success Australia side of my business, I travel to Melbourne, Sydney, and also, of course, here in my hometown of Brisbane, I present one-day in-person workshops on private practice success. And when I run those workshops, I normally start off the day with a bit of a roundtable introduction, and I ask each practice owner that is there to tell me what is their number one challenge in their practice. And if I had $1 for every time that a practice owner tell me time management, or I don't have enough time, or I just can't get the balance right between being a mum, a dad, a husband, a partner, a wife, a friend, a family member, a clinician, and a practice owner. And it's like they feel like they're being dragged and pulled into all directions, and that they can just never get on top of that ever mounting to-do list. And it is such an overwhelming feeling that comes with stuff like panic and unworthiness and just guilt and all the stuff that goes with it. And it is such a common challenge that is shared by practice owners. And you know what? Not just practice owners. I think for us, there's a lot of extra stuff, because not only do we need to keep on top of clinical caseload and that stuff, but it's all these business tasks and activities. But you know what? Even if you are a clinician, and I've been a clinician working 5 days a week seeing clients, I know how hard it is to keep on top of the paperwork, and how you are consistently worried that when am I going to get the time? When am I going to get the time to do this? All this paperwork. And especially if you are a clinician whose clients attend well, i.e. they engage, so you don't have a lot of cancellations, you don't have a lot of no-shows, so there's literally no extra time in your day to get your paperwork done. And that is really a big deal, because, you know, guys, APRA releases stats on what gets reported, and two of the most reported not offenses, or let's say notifications, where people make notifications to APRA, which of course is our regulation and registration body, is first and foremost poor communication and poor results. Okay, you know what the poor results are? It manifests as poor report writing. So poor communication and poor results via report writing. So if you actually look at the reporting stats that APRA releases once a year in terms of why people basically get in trouble and why people get reported and which cases actually gets pursued by APRA, it has to do way more with your paperwork than your actual performance as a clinician. Who knew? Who knew? Okay. And I think we as clinicians think it's the other way around. And it just emphasizes to me, and it should to you as well, that how important our paperwork is, how important it is to look at your client not only as the clinical in-session therapeutic work that you're doing, but that your proper clinical case management involves the therapy that you're doing, plus the paperwork around it, plus the phone calls that needs to happen, the reporting that needs to happen. And I suspect that a lot of clinicians prioritize the client sitting in front of them, or the child coming for OT or speech sitting in front of them. And the stuff that gets put on the back burner is the paperwork. But that, my people, is the stuff that lands us in trouble. So I wanted to put this training together, not only for practice owners, although through my private practice Success Australia work, that's a lot of stuff that I do, but also for clinicians. And I'm doing this also thinking of my own team. I've got a large team of psychologists back at the practice. My practice, of course, called the Psych Professionals. You're more than welcome to check out our website and our Facebook page. And I want them also to do this training because this is going to be absolute gold. And it's so important because if you can master these skills, it is literally life-changing in terms of how you're going to be feeling, the sense of achievement and accomplishment when you can change around your current situation of consistently being on this hamster wheel of chasing your darn tail. For me, when I was still a clinician working 5 days a week seeing clients, it really took away the joy and passion from being a psychologist. You know, nobody tells you at uni you're going to have to do so much darn paperwork. And then even when you come into private practice, you think, well, it's private practice. You know, it's not Queensland Health and all those places, bureaucracy with all the paperwork. You expect less paperwork, but actually in private practice, there's actually quite a lot of paperwork, Medicare requirements, you know, and all that other stuff that goes with it. And I want you to have the true joy of being a psychologist. I want you to get really good at managing your time, not feeling guilty, not being pulled in various directions. So I've put together a 21-day program in time management. It's 6 modules. It might actually get bigger because I'm very passionate about this stuff. I've come up with the 6 modules that I want to cover, but because this is the very first time I am running it, if anything pops up as we go along, I'm just going to be adding additional bonus content to it. So I really look forward to also hearing from everybody that enrolls. You know, what is it that you guys want to hear from me? What is the stuff that you're really struggling with? And let's get it answered. Let's turn it around once and for all. So that's just a quick introduction as to my motivation about, you know, behind doing this course. Have a read through the rest of the information. All the details are below in terms of how it's going to be delivered, how it's going to run, all of that type of stuff. And I can't wait to see you inside the Facebook group. I'm going to leave it at that. It's always good talking to you. And remember, all you need to do, guys, is say yes to having your very own ultimate level 5 private practice. And I'll speak to you again very soon. Bye for now.